I'm live. Here I am live. Goldfish, are you here again? So good to have you here. Thank you. So, this is Tarot After Dark, and I do realize it's maybe not dark where you are. It's not dark where I am. I had to actually draw the curtains to make it dark. And that's okay, because as the weeks progress, we all know what's going to happen. Everything is going to get darker and darker and more secretive, more exciting. So thanks for being here. Hey, if you are here because you're curious about tarot and you happen to have a tarot deck, even an oracle deck, bring it to the table. So pause me. Actually, you can't pause me. I'm live, but whatever. Go grab your deck if you don't have it handy already. I just want to make sure everything is going. And let me hydrate myself. Because the whole point of Tarot After Dark is to allow you in the shadows of the darkness to let your magical self out. Sometimes it's under veil of the dark that you have that opportunity where not everyone can kind of see what's going on. It just makes things more mysterious, right? Let's just go with that. Yes, I did remember my water. I usually do, but I'm so glad that you told me to go get it at the Tarot Tuesday. Appreciate it always. And hey, what would a goldfish be without water? Come on now, right? So tonight, since this is the first one of the season, hey, Terry. Oh, good. Good to hear. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have a card deck? Bring it, bring it, bring it. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that unless we can bring it back to life. Frankenfish, maybe, right? So last year, wow, it's going back a year, I decided to start this little thing called Tarot After Dark, just to maybe attract the people who are a little, I really kind of want to learn more about this. It's intriguing. And yet you might have friends and family who think it's a little weird or dorky or whatever. And I just want to be your friendly neighborhood, normal person. Okay, people think I'm normal. That's their first mistake. Without all the weird paraphernalia. You see me on the street, you might think, they like to knit. They're not into the esoteric stuff. There's no judgment on who does what anyways. And I love it. I love it. You got your cards. Let's do this. Woo. So yeah, I just wanted to do this Tarot After Dark as a way to gather people together and also invite those who might be here and don't have a card deck. You can still learn a little bit more. Maybe you're curious about tarot, but you don't have a deck yet. So, there's nothing wrong with hanging out with people who might pull a card or two, right? People with purple hair and treatment. Okay. Yeah. And I've had purple hair for so long that I swear on my life that it's natural. So yeah. I think for this first one, I really wanted to just get down to the basics of things, like what you really need to do when you're playing in this arena of the esoteric and cards and divination. And the number one rule is to protect yourself. Now, when I say that, I'm not a fan of saying protect. Like when I taught Reiki, I would always say, it's about fortifying your energy. It's about clearing your energy. But sometimes protect just brings, to mind that you do need to be aware of energy. And I'm not saying you've got to protect yourself from entities and things attaching to you and all this kind of stuff. Because I think when we think things, we attract that to us, or we muddy our own energy that makes it easier for other energy to kind of stick to us. I really don't want it to say it's us against them. We are responsible for our own physical, mental, and emotional hygiene. That's what it boils down to. You're not protecting yourself from anybody else. You're protecting yourself from what you're doing. And what I mean by that is you want to be grounded. That's the best way for you to be a good, clear conduit of energy, of messages, is when you're grounded. And there's no way you're going to be grounded if you're really nervous, or you're, I don't know, maybe doing substances and stuff like that, when you want to be totally focused on whatever it is you're doing. Okay. Makes sense. Goldfish, I've got the Light Seer deck, the Ethereal Visions, and the Standard Rider. Oh, I don't know that Ethereal Visions one. That sounds really interesting. So for me tonight, I'm just going to go old school and use the traditional Rider Waite. My Light Seer deck is still in use from my my moon reading I did last night. I still need time to sit there and savor it and things like that. So yeah, back to protecting our energy. This really boils down to a few things. Being grounded, everyone knows that. Even when it comes to electricity, you ground, so you're safe. But another thing is, it's just kind of preparing. And when you do that, this is why people have rituals, because you are getting your intention aligned, you're getting your energy aligned, you feel in the right state of mind, body, and spirit in order to play with the cards or work with the cards, however you want to word it. And I really feel that it's important that we're not taking it too seriously. It's just a ritual to kind of get yourself in the routine of things. And when you do it over and over and over, it's a cue to your guides. It's a cue to the energy of the space. And I do recommend, if you can be in the same space every time, you're building the energy of that space. Even if you use it for other things, like I'm at my desk, I use it for business, I use it for readings and private, personal, online, but it has the energy I want it to, because I put these little rituals in place. Now, the cool thing is, I'm all about making it simple. It's why my website is simplehealingarts.com, because I like to keep things easy to do. If they're easy, you'll do them. If they're easy, you'll remember. I kind of did that in reverse. If they're easy, you'll remember. If you remember, you will do them. And they're simple. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as, I'm grounded. And you tell yourself you're grounded. You could go the whole routine and ritual where you do the box breathing or what have you, and you have your grounding mat and whatever. I mean, saying it kind of in a mocking tone, and I apologize, because if that's the way you want to do it, fine. Some people want to make it a whole thing, which is great. The only caveat to that is, if you don't feel like doing it that whole thing, don't get lazy and skip the basics, which is be grounded, be present, go. It doesn't always have to be the whole rigmarole. It can be as simple as you want to make it. That's bottom line. Bottom line. Please show how you lay your card reading area. What you have and why. Okay, well, it's kind of hard, the camera to I don't really have anything. I might have to just kind of wing it here. I just have my desk, and it's even raised up. Like, I could probably sit here and eat my meal right like this, because I wanted my camera up higher. And it changes though too, Goldfish. It changes, but I'll do my best to kind of show you what I have. It'll be like really not what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. More water, please. My brain needs hydration. It'll just be basic, I guess, is what I'm trying to spit out here. Easy and simple. That's the only way I can get through the day sometimes, right? If it's too complicated, I ain't gonna do it. Just that simple. So protecting your energy, the basics is just being fully present, having a space you can call your own. And if you can't, then just imagine you have this bubble of space around you. One of my favorite ways to do that is to have your feet on the floor, to have your spine as aligned on your body as possible, because it lets the energy flow better. It lets your lungs and the diaphragm do what it needs to do. And then just take a few deep breaths. And the key is, when you're breathing in pure love and light. And when you exhale, you're releasing whatever you don't need anymore. You can visualize it being, you know, darkness coming out. It doesn't have to be that way. It can just be you're breathing love and light in and you're exhaling what you don't need. Carbon dioxide isn't dark and mysterious. It's just a gas and it's necessary to release it. So sometimes it's just that simple. And from that point, you are bringing your energy and your attention and intention to be fully present. And then you're more focused on the here and now. You're more focused on you and your energy, because that's where the reading and that's where the messages come through. If you're more aware and aligned with understanding how messages come through to you, I'm talking intuition here, the more you understand yourself, the more you will understand when a message comes through. Is it for you? Is it for the person we're doing the readings for, or whatever might come through that way? So intention is a big, big key here. And as you're preparing by doing a couple deep breaths, it doesn't even have to take as long as it's taking me to explain it. You're creating that little bubble of space around you. So even if you're in a home and you have to share the space with someone else, it's totally okay. We work with what we have. Maybe you clear out a space in your closet and have this, little time. And I do recommend no candles unless they're like this one and they're battery operated in a small space like that. But you may even want to just pop some headphones in if you've got sounds around you that you feel might distract you, because the whole point is to just be fully present. And the more focused you are on just being here and in this moment for however long you want to be, and I'm not just talking about watching me live here and interacting, but when you're practicing on your own, the rest can fall away for now, and I always would say, don't bother me unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, definitely bother me, because it won't bother me. It'll be a good thing. But then you have this space all set up for yourself. And if this is something new to you and you're training your loved ones, maybe you got little kids, you're teaching them that this is your time and it will end. Give them a time limit. And you might be like, well, Lorraine, how long's the live? And I'll be like, I don't really know. I'll try to keep it to an hour. Maybe it'll be less. Who knows? Try not to go over an hour. And then that way, you give them kind of a time limit. That's always good. So intention is another big key to protecting your energy. But it really, really is important for you to understand how stress shows up for you. How does it feel? Do you get shortness of breath? Do you find your back starts to ache? Do you find you need to kind of move around? And that's totally okay too. Like, I'm really glad I got this desk now that I can raise and lower it so I can stand up and do things that way if I need to shift my energy around. Because we don't realize, I think it was the first few times as a Reiki practitioner that I would do Reiki sessions for people, that afterwards I would be so tired, like fatigued, like I would sleep the rest of the day. And it'd be like, what the heck is going on? Well, our body, mind, and spirit isn't necessarily used to flowing the energy through us like that. In the moment, we're like, wow, this is great. This is fine. I'm feeling this. This is happening. I'm really helping this person bring healing to their body. But we don't realize how it's affecting us, how we're standing, how we're, have our hands raised and moved around. So it's really important to remember after the session, it's part of protecting your energy as well, is to ground again. Like, I like to kind of sweep off my body, shake my hands off, stand up, stomp my feet, drink some water. Yeah. And have a little routine or ritual afterwards as well, because that helps remind me that I've cleared the energy. Nothing is sticking to me. I'd get that question a lot. What if somebody's energy attaches to me? If you're doing all this stuff and you're having your intention in place prior to, you're Teflon, baby. Nothing can stick to you that way. And if something kind of comes up coincidentally to you, that was just something that needed to come up so you can deal with it and clear it that way, right? Let's see. I've not heard about grounding after a tarot session. Oh yeah. Like, think about it. If you are up there in the ethers, just, working with your guides and doing all your stuff. And then it's over. I mean, you're not really very well grounded anymore, even though you grounded before, but we tend to kind of expand as we're doing readings, especially when we get confirmations and people are like, yeah, that makes sense. And then your energy expands more because you're not held back by your ego saying, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if this message feels right. We kind of get back up into our head again. But if we go beyond our head and we're connected to source, then we're in that state of just omnipresence almost. So after a session, you got to come back to reality. There's dishes waiting in the sink for you. There's toilets to scrub. There's, I don't know, I'm making this stuff up. There's dogs to take for walks. If you're not well grounded, you're not fully connected to your body. That's how we get klutzy. And I do this whenever Reiki people would come and they'd be like, I'm so klutzy. I keep subbing my toe. And it's like, ground your energy. When we ground, our body then knows what to do. We can be totally on autopilot in our head and our body will spatially know where it is. But if we're ungrounded, anything goes. We're just kind of that wild inflatable guy, waving arm inflatable man or whatever they're called. Yeah. All right. So enough of that. Let's get into this here. Let's get into some messages. So grab your tarot deck, whatever deck you want to choose, and let's just pull a card for the energy of now. What energy do I need to be aware of now? And however you want to do it, shuffle however you want, thinking of the question. You could even, if you can't walk and chew gum at the same time like me sometimes, grounding your energy, just hold the cards, think of the question. We're going to generalize it and just say, what's the energy I need to know right now? And then you can shuffle, pull the cards however they come to you. Mine like to fall out, or I'll just pull the top one, whatever you want to do. So, now I've got to look at the deck. They're all upside down. That's how I can tell, it doesn't feel like it's a reversal. So that's a sign for me to kind of chill it a little bit, Lorraine, and get back into mode here. Terry saying, got it, learned something new. Yay, good. Love it. And it's just as simple as it is grounding beforehand. Just make it simple, which is perfect, because the card I pulled, and pop in the comments the card you pulled and what little message you get from it. And it doesn't need to be whatever the book says. What you initially think of is all that matters. The one I got is the Four of Pentacles. This is perfect for being grounded. Pentacles is earth energy. Sometimes it's about money. It's not always about money. The question I asked was, what do I need to know right now? And this for me was that you need to ground your energy, Lorraine. Talking all this stuff, you better practice what you preach. But being fully present here in body, mind, and spirit. And I'm really drawn to that. I'm drawn to that connection to source, heart opened, and my feet grounded on the floor. Yeah. That's interesting. You got reversed too, although mine were all reversed. So you got Hermit reversed. So what do you think that means? What does that mean for you? Terry pulled the 10 of Wands. Nice. Telling me to set down the day's burden and play with tarot to bring some joy to the end of the day. Yeah, I love that. That's a great message. That's a good message. So, and then Goldfish, figure out what your messaging is for that. If you want insight from any of us, just ask. And so what I want you to do next is now to pull another card for some clarification. Just say, tell me more. Tell me a little bit more about this message. Ooh, you heard that one go flip. So for me, so we had that. Tell me a little bit more. I got the Ace of Swords. And what I'm picking up is that be aware of the main thing I want to share tonight. which was basically protecting your energy, like as a reader, as someone learning or what have you. And I feel that when I can stay focused, it's going to allow my energy to be more effortless, so I don't have to keep, regrounding myself. To me, it's important to articulate what I say, because my body likes to kind of distract me from staying focused. It's like sometimes if people are kind of doing things, you're on the phone and you're doodling and things like that. We're not letting our body be fully present. I meant to take that off. I don't know why that went back on there. So that's really interesting. And if I distill it down through my little formula of my simple way of doing things, is that when I stay grounded and I'm focused on the lightness of my surroundings, that's where things come through and inspiration comes through easily and effortlessly, like a hot knife through butter. Got to keep it fun. Terry, you had the 10 of Wands. Now you got the 9 of Pentacles. I have all I need, abundance in all the right areas. Yeah, I love that. So with both of those, it feels like when you were saying, you put down your burdens and bring in some joy. To me, you're saying that is the road to abundance, is, that saying, all work and no play doesn't bring the money home. That's not how it goes, but that's my version. And then Goldfish, you got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Take a look at your cards. Are they all reversed? Because I know mine were all reversed. It just, tell me what you think. Let's go back up here. Terry, maybe you can add some insight too. So Hermit on its own can often be that you need some solitude, or you don't have that solitude, is what I'm getting if it is in reverse. Maybe it's you need to have it, or you've had too much solitude and it's time to kind of gather with people, like-minded people who can help you feel like you want to feel. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, now you're getting 2 major arcana cards here, which is interesting. And it could be saying that just being aware of how your energy cycles are, to know when you should take time for yourself. Like, to me, that's a great way of protecting your energy, especially if you're an introvert like myself. It's very, very important for me to be mindful of my energy, and when I'm spreading it out too far, it comes back and bites me. So it's super important to know what my own cycles of energy are, and it does change. It's not like I know when I wake up, I'm going to feel really energized all day long. Like I did the live earlier, and there's something about being live that gives me energy. And then when I'm done, it's like I'm done and I need to go out for a walk, go do something to just clear my space. But I did get quite tired. I had to kind of have a little cat nap there, which isn't difficult with Tarot Pup. He's a couch potato for sure. So that's something to be aware of. Now, you could have a little notebook and you could jot these down and allow yourself to go a little deeper into what that might mean to you, because the more you kind of understand how you interpret the energy of the card, you're giving yourself like a little reference guide that your body, mind, and spirit will know, right? Okay, Terry, what do you got here? I get that it's time for Goldfish to step out and join a community. Wheel of Fortune can mean you may be stuck in a rut, so getting out and about may help introduce you to new things and people. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, especially as the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, because that to me, when I see reversals that feel like reversals, it's a different perspective than normally a tarot card would be. So I like that. I hope that makes sense for you, Goldfish. Got to have another slurp. Yeah. So something else that I actually, oh, there we go. Why do you have all major arcana? What the heck's going on? So the devil is upright. So what are you getting from this? I'd love your interpretation. Hey, I say that, and then if you're not writing it, maybe it does mean something significant to you and you don't want to share it in the comments. And I totally, totally respect that. Totally. Maybe I need to shuffle. Well, you've probably been shuffling, and that's the way of it. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. You're not at all. I'm just noticing, like, those are three major arcana. So when I see that, to me, it's something to be aware of, like taking some inventory. What's life been like? What are your goals and aspirations moving forward? Because again, these cards right now we're pulling to tell us, what do we need to know right now? So for you, maybe it's like, I need to know what is majorly happening with my energy, with the cycles of things that are going on, with the things that are distracting me, with the things that I might have an addiction to, like doom scrolling, shopping on Amazon. It doesn't have to be, the big bads. It could just be things that, and I often find when the devil comes up with sword cards, it's being addicted to the negative thinking and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's you, Goldfish, at all. I'm just, spitballing of different things here. Yeah. So let's pull one more with this and say, how can we word it? Like, give me some guidance on what action I should take right now. Guidance on what action I should take right now. Guidance on what action I should take right now, based on the cards that have come up. Ooh, I like that. I got the 9 of Pentacles. So for me, now if I backtrack, because now that I've got all these cards, if I backtrack, I can see that I always get this mixed up. Maybe this does have to do with success and feeling stability. Maybe it's financial success, home success, having a way to pay the bills, etc. And this is, you've got to keep focused on what brings the success and the money in, so you're not wasting your energy doing a bunch of other things. See, I'm giving you total permission to go back and redo the reading with the same cards you got, because now that you have the insight of 3 cards, that first card might start to define a little bit differently. You start getting the clues. It wasn't upside down. You guys know that. So with this, the 9 of Pentacles is showing me, I can get it to, it's not going to cooperate, but it's showing me that when I'm grateful for all that I already have, and I make sure to put a little aside for me and be willing to invest the rest, and it can be money, it might not, it might be energy and what I'm doing in my home, that this is going to give me a better perspective, because now I'm also drawn to the Falcon here. So he's got that higher perspective. He's got the bigger view. And that's where, if I keep staying focused on keeping my thoughts in alignment with where I want to be, I'm keeping that sword sharpened, if you will. Okay. So I'm curious for you, what did you get? What came up for you? Is it kind of changing your message a little bit? Curious Goldfish, what? Oh, so you pulled 3. You pulled your 3 already. Yeah. Terry, you pulled the 9 of Cups, another 9. And the message is about being content, which I am. I love that. So when you're asking, what can I do? And it's saying be content, you already are. To me, it's saying, how can you double down on that? You got 2 9s. How can you double down on it? It'd be like we're going to Vegas and we're going to double down because we know we got the right cards that are going to give us the lots of success. That's why I'm waiting. What are you waiting? What are you waiting for? What did I miss? Sometimes I don't hear my own self talking. So you got the Hermit in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Oh, because you already have your 3, right? But what do they mean to you? Does it make, and without even telling us, does it make sense? Does the message make sense to you? Because if it doesn't, we can maybe help bring some clarity to it. We just going back to Terry for a second here. Yeah, what can you double down on that can guarantee that you're able to find this contentment in a moment's notice, especially in those times we aren't content, because there's lots of times where we're not, but we can get ourselves back there a lot quicker if you have a plan in place. It's kind of like a fire escape, but much better because you're finding that content escape. Maybe you just need to have your tarot deck with you whenever to inspire you. And for you, Goldfish, it really feels like there's a lot of major energy I'm feeling for you, like a lot of potential. Like I get excited when I think about the potential that you have in your life. I don't know. I don't know you. I don't, I don't know. I just feel like there's lots of potential and some excitement. And maybe it's kind of tampering down on it a bit because you don't want to let it all out. And maybe you don't want to affect other people in that way, but you can totally be excited for yourself. I hope you have ways that you can, just kind of, I don't know. Tarot After Dark, anything goes. Terry, how to double down. Spend more time with tarot. I love learning more and more about them. I know I need to spend more time doing things I enjoy, more self-care, working on that. Yeah, and you can take out the I know I need to, because you're doing what you can when you can. And I think that is the key right there. And there's sometimes you're going to have more time to play, and there's other times you're not going to have as much time, and that's just life. But knowing you can just pick things up whenever you want to definitely feels good. Definitely. Remember, the people on the Devil card can remove their chains at any time. Yeah. Does that add anything to your message? Yeah, I like that question. Yeah. And that's another thing. Thanks for the reminder, is when you write these cards down or leave them out or take a picture so you have them and you go back and look at them again, you're looking at them with fresh eyes, you're looking at them with fresh energy, and there might be an additional message, or the message might change. And that's totally okay, because the cards are a snapshot. It's a message in this moment. And that message might change depending on your energy, or depending on that phone call that you got might shift and change what's going on. Because this isn't about, oh, this is the message and that's what it is. Am I right or am I wrong? It's never about right or wrong. It's about, what are you feeling? What are you picking up on? These are readings for you, not for anybody else, right? At this point, that's what we're doing right this second. Yeah, we got them all. Good. It's getting harder to see here now. It's too dark. It's too dark here for Tarot After Dark. All right. So is there anything you guys want any clarity on that we could pull cards on to help you find some clarity on that, if that makes sense? So I'm going to just jot these down so I remember them. And I'm going to put them back in the deck. And then if I want to, and I suggest this for you too, especially if you're still, learning a little bit, is write them down, pop them back in the deck and play more. But then you can go back later and go, yeah, it was those 3 cards. Let me find them in the deck and go from there. Here's something fun I like to do in my tarot cafe is popping those cards back in the deck. Ooh, and I recommend you do this. Write down what you got, or remember it. Maybe you have a better brain than me. And I want you to pop those 3 cards back in the deck and just shuffle and keep shuffling here. Goldfish. I pulled another deck out and got the King of Wands for the Hermit reverse. Okay, so you're pulling clarifiers. Four of Cups for the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and the 7 of Swords for the Devil. Oh, interesting. So that 7 of Swords, we all know that looks like, you're being aware. There's sneaky energy and stuff. It's usually with the guys holding on to the tips of the sword and he's sneaking away from the camp. That can often be sneaky energy, yet at the same time, he is taking those swords away to disarm the camp that has the little tents up in the regular tarot weight deck. He's not stealing them, holding them by the hilt to use them, right? So there's that distinction there. So I like it with the Devil because it's saying we're pulling away any of the ammunition that devil energy might have. So it's disarming that energy. That's what I'm picking up. So I don't know what, if that makes sense for you or not. And then going back to the beginning with the King of Wands and the Hermit in reverse, it feels like maybe you've had a lot of responsibilities, or you're going to have a lot of responsibilities. So you need to make sure to manage your energy and take time, because if you don't, your energy, you will kind of be forced to, whether health will go downhill, you'll catch a cold because your immune system's low, something along those lines. That's the message I'm picking up. So the second line, I feel they are, just in the way you worded it. You said pulled another deck, got the King of Wands for the Hermit. So you're pulling that King of Wands as a clarifier. And then you have the 4 of Cups for the Wheel of Fortune. And 4 of Cups is about your emotions, your intuition, your energy, right? Your emotional energy. And on that card, usually it's the person who's not really kind of paying attention to that divine gift of the cup from the universe. So maybe it's being complacent and not really seeing where the gifts are in these cyclical things that have been happening. It's just been like, well, this was great, and then it wasn't. And that was great, and then it wasn't. So maybe being able to focus on where the gifts were from whatever you've been through, because clearly, whether it was relationship related or not, it wasn't meant to be the way it was, but the gift is that you're stronger because of it, and you've gained some intellectual knowledge because of it. That's kind of what's coming up for me there. So it was the 4 of Wands. Okay, now I got to rethink it. So it was the 4 of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. Well, to me, then it definitely feels like it's energy relating to that cyclical energy of the Wheel of Fortune. Hopefully that makes sense. Bifocal error. I hear you. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense for you. So something else I was thinking that you can do is, after you've pulled the cards, you've kind of deciphered them a little bit, you've jotted them down. This actually works better when you've just pulled the one card, but pop them back in the deck and then take the time to actually go through your card, like flip the deck over and go through them until you come across one of the cards you've pulled, keeping track of where. So for example, this is the bottom of the deck, and the first one I pulled away was this 9 of Pentacles, which is the last card I pulled. So I'm aware that this 9 of Pentacles is now between the Empress and the Queen of Swords. So I'm kind of seeing where it fits in the sandwich. This is the salami, and these are the buns or the bread. So to me, and I'm just going to pop all those other cards away and pull these out so we can now see, where does this message relate to the cards that are surrounding it? Again, we've got that swords, which that's what I came up. I had the Ace of Swords as my second card. So to me, this is another energy of my awareness of where I need to focus my thoughts and make sure that I'm not doing any stinking thinking, that I'm staying positive and I'm focused on where I want to be, not where I don't want to be. It's all about staying positive based instead of negative based. And I come to that conclusion because with this Empress, she's all about fertile energy. What you focus on expands. So if I'm focusing on positive, good things, then that's just going to bring more of that to me. But if I'm focused on being worried and concerned and focused on how bad life is, then I'm just going to get more of that again. This is like the double down on your energy. All right. So I'm curious, did you try that? Kind of hard to do this online kind of thing, but yeah, I'm doing my best. So I'm going to keep going through again, just to kind of see where the other cards that I had landed. I think they're really in there. Oh, there's the Ace of Swords. Okay. So for my Ace of Swords, I've got the Four of Swords, the Ace of Swords in the middle, and then the Knight of Wands. So there's a lot of energy here with this Knight of Wands. And I love that because it's saying focus where your brilliance is. That's what I'm picking up from it at this moment. And then with the Four of Swords, so to me, they almost feel opposite. Right? We've got all this energy with the Knight of Swords or Knight of Wands. And then we've got this Four of Swords, which is more contemplative, meditative, hang up all those other thoughts on the wall so you can just focus on what's here and gain the blessings from it. That's my short version of this card. And somehow in between that, I'm maintaining focus on what I want, on my goals, on staying clear in my energy of what I want. When I do that, I have the energy to go gung-ho on the things I love to do. And I also know when I need to take a break and rest. In a perfect world, right? Terry. I came across the Nine of Cups first, and it's between the Lovers and the Eight of Swords. I believe they're telling me more self-care, less work, more play. Yeah, that seems to be a big theme for you now. And I'm curious to see where the other ones lie as well. Eight of Swords. It's also being aware of the things you love to do, and notice when you're doing things you don't like to do, notice where your energy is. That's what I'm picking up for you the next time, is to just notice. And then from there, you're able to kind of tweak things a little bit so you can adjust it. Like if you're stuck doing something you don't really want to do, but you have to do it, like there's a way you can kind of trick your brain or your energy, not trick, but convince yourself that it's worth it to do it. I hope that's making sense. All right. And then my last one, I'm going to see so it's the Four of Pentacles I'm looking for. It's in here somewhere. if nothing else, like if anyone who's watching this later on is the replay, this is a good way for you to just look through your deck too, instead of just seeing, not looking and just seeing something that pops up on its own, right? You get to know them more for sure. Okay. Ah, see, I got the 8 of Swords as well. Ooh, look what these are between. So I had the 4 of Pentacles. That was the first card I pulled. And it's between the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Two of the cards that feel they're a little meh energy, right? So to feel fully grounded and in control, because this card could be either way. This could be you are just holding on too tight, or it's you are balanced. And when it's around these cards, to me, it can be focused on more of the negative side of things. So it's trusting that you're either voluntarily ignoring the signs of not being fully grounded or fully trusting in the universe, or it's saying you need to have more trust in it. You need to trust yourself a little bit more. And I'm talking about myself here, getting into reader mode. And this 5 of Cups is saying what you, again, like I said before, what you focus on expands. Are you focused on what went wrong, or are you honoring what happened and trusting that you were looked after then? Things balanced out then. And I'm saying that from things did balance out. The shit hit the fan and it wasn't pretty, but things worked out. And if I look back in my lifetime, everything I've been through, I'm still here. I'm still this side of the dirt. And it's always worked out one way or another. And I'm not saying it was easy or effortless at all, because it wasn't. But now from this perspective, yeah, it's like I'm definitely focused on here and building the bridge and moving on to the new stages of my life. So I like that one for me. I actually do like that one for me. Yeah. Terry, great exercise. You're spot on. Oh, good. My first card, 7 of Wands, is between the Death and the 9 of Wands. Another 9. That's 3 9s now. Yeah, that's 3 tonight. I'm feeling it's time for a change and to protect my boundaries. Yeah, and you know what? You know you best. I'm just going to shuffle these all back in. You know you best. So I think even if when you go to bed tonight, ask the universe. I don't know how you work with energy, but ask the universe or write a note to your guides and angels and say, help me come up with a game plan or something in the coming days, because I really want to make these changes. And I recommend just tuning into that magical side a little bit more. You know, writing notes to angels, people might think, cray. Oh, I hate that term. Sorry, I just used it and I really don't like it. And I don't like the word hate either. Oh, I've said it twice now. But this is Tarot After Dark. So we do things that are a little off the wall and no one else needs to know. Okay, yeah, it's on YouTube now, but not many people watch my channel right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. So these are the fun, interesting, magical things that we can do that make us feel like we're in a little bit more control of our own lives or our own magic. We don't have to take things so seriously. Okay, I know that there's tarot readers out there that are very serious about what they do, and I applaud them for their tenacity. But for me, I like to keep things light and inspiring. And yeah, sometimes life is not fair, but if we focus on that, we're going to get nowhere. But if we understand a little bit where the energy is, where the messages come, how it makes us feel, then we have that opportunity to shift our energy or start to question where we can do a little bit better for ourselves. And it involves no one else but us, you know, unless we're kicking people out of our lives because they're just bad energy, whatever works there, right? Great idea. And I think I'll call on the magic of tonight's full moon as well. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. 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 Is it getting dark yet? Yes. Fine. It's finally getting dark. But it's cloudy here, so I don't know if I'll see the full moon. But that's the thing. The full moon is out there. Whether we see it or not, the energy is out there. It's how you tap into it that matters. Trust in your own magic and do it in your own way. I give mirror suggestions, and you can morph it and tweak it and do it whatever way you want to do it. Goldfish, the upright hermit was between the Ace of Pentacles and the devil. Oh, interesting. The devil shows up again from a different perspective. And then with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords was beneath it. Okay. And that was your third card, I think, wasn't it? So are you understanding a message for yourself in that? And you don't even have to say what it is, just a yes or a you're not sure. Because what I pick up from that is definitely being aware of what might be compromising your energy. That to me is the devil energy. Because to me, Ace of Pentacles is governing your physical world. Like that's the big old coin coming at you going, here you go. This is about groundedness. It's about being comfortable in your home, at work, with you, being secure and grounded. And the hermit is definitely, to me, feels definitely like you need to make sure you manage your energy, because notice it was up right now. And when you first pulled it, it was reversed. So you will know when that Kenny Rogers song is rolling in my head, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. But you will know when you need to tweak things in your life to match the energy you want to have in your life. Because there's always going to be that for all of us. There's always going to be that devil energy. There's always going to be either that distraction or that attraction to what we don't want. It happens. But having that awareness definitely puts you in a place of power. That's the key. The only time we have power is when we're willing to allow it to flow. Or go, depends on the power that's working itself out there. Understanding began and the hermit turned. Understanding began and the hermit turned. So you're understanding a little bit more, and then that hermit energy can shift, right? Change happens because of understanding. Yeah, exactly. Bang on. That's exactly it. And we need to be willing to see the things that we might not want to see. Doesn't mean we have to admit anything to anyone, just to ourselves. That's a start. That's a start. It's more about acknowledging and less about pointing fingers and blaming and getting into that whole ball of wax. That to me is devil energy as well. And it's like, don't distract me from that stuff. Let's focus on that was that. It sucked. This is better. It's better. Where can we go from here? Yeah. And it is what it is, right? It's a start. It's a start for sure. Oh, well, I hope you had fun. Thank you, you two, for being here. This is great. I'm so appreciative of that. How do you want to end it here? Do you have any questions about this? Is there anything else you need to know about what we covered tonight before I let you go off and into the darkness and go look at the moon? Stay on the positive side. Yeah. Yeah. Not to the detriment of learning the lessons we need to learn, but positive. It's actually a lot easier to be positive. It takes less energy to be positive, for sure. Time for some more water. Look at that. I'm almost done. So we've been here almost an hour. Any questions? Yay, I'm glad you had fun. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. It's great. So let's end with being grounded. Okay, so feet on the floor if you can do it. If not, just imagine that the seat you're sitting in is connected to the ground and so on and so forth, all the way deep down into Mother Earth. If you want, you can close your eyes. I'm going to keep staring at you though. Sorry, that was creepy. And take a nice deep breath in and release at your own pace. Notice where your energy is. Thank your guides for being present. Even though you might not have called them in, you did with your intention. Thank the tarot for bringing the messages you most meant to hear. And thank yourself for being present, for playing, for being open to trying something new. And yeah, I recommend you try that. Even tomorrow, just pull one card, look at it, get the message you think you need from it, pop it back in the deck, and then find it again and see where it lands. And there's going to be a time where it's going to be the first one. So there'll only be one card, which means that's leading your energy forward. Or it'll be the last card. And that's something to finish with. Use your own intuition on what it means. I'm making this shit up as I go along because that's the magic of doing tarot after dark. Okay. And yeah, thanks so much for being here and for watching. And anyone who watches this as a replay, play along, pop your questions in the comments. And we're coming back here again next Tuesday. We've got Tarot Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific and Tarot After Dark at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Put that into your time machine calculator for your time zone. And we'll see you then. In the meantime, have fun with tarot. Be inspired. Take a break. And don't forget to drink water. All right. Thanks for being here, you two. Peace out.